Welcome back to another episode of Dudes Talking Manga, where we'll be talking about Berserk Volume 32. I am accompanied, as always, by my best friend and co-host, Andrew. Andrew, how you doing, man?
What's up? Doing good, man. Just had a little hailstorm roll through, but we're good. We're alive. Yeah. No windows busted, so...
I honestly almost forgot we were talking about manga because we were so busy talking about drill music and Pusheisty.
Honestly, I did. I was like, "Why is this behind me? Why are we not repping the O right now?"
We're in deep. I was listening to Pusheisty as I read through this Berserk volume.
No, you were not.
I was.
I would not be able to concentrate. I can barely. If there's words on the music and I'm listening, I'm gone.
It depends on the music.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly like super in tune with the lyrics. I'm listening to Back in Blood. I'm just kind of like vibing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because when you listen to the lyrics, you're like, "Oh,
yikes!"
I guess it's kind of the same thing as like listening to metal to wind down, which is what I do because
it's all about how your brain's wired, right?
Yeah, it's just like mine's broken, so like the metal is like how I relax, and if I'm trying to listen, like working out, I have like lullaby music going. It just really gets me going.
What's up? Ryan says, "Oh my god, I'm going to be able to watch you guys live today. I'm so excited." Well, we're glad to have you here. Welcome to everyone that is here in the chat, and for those watching after the fact. This was an excellent volume, but as always, I kind of want to get caught up on some of the other manga that we've been reading through. So what's been on the docket for you, dude?
Dude, I've been all over the place. I started Monster. Yeah, because I was watching with you when you sent me before it got pulled off YouTube. I got one episode in, so I started Monster. I love Monster. It's so good, so great. And then I'm still really into Full Metal Alchemist right now.
Nice,
and I got the Full Metal edition, so it's just a good grip on the book, and I'm really liking both of those. And it is fun too, like to bounce back and forth to see the different art. And appreciate, the different storytelling and how they do it. Some are more word heavy, some are more picture heavy. It's just interesting. I'm really, really liking it. But Monster it's money, dude. It's money. What about you?
So I'm slowly making my way through volume 2 of Full Metal Alchemist. That one's like by the bedside when I might read like one chapter a week. I'm kind of just enjoying it right now. I just finished up volume 2 of Monster. It's so damn good. It's the perfect editions, the same one you had that like make up the mural when you put them together. Wait till you finish the second one. The second one is like where I think it's like, because I'm now caught up to where I was in the anime.
Okay.
And it blew my mind. Like Monster's definitely neck and neck already with Berserk for me. Like those are my two favorites.
Yeah, none of the story has really even opened up for me on there. I'm only like a couple chapters in, so I just dipped my toes after I finished Berserk. I was like, let's crack the old Monster. After I went through
change of pace.
Yeah, it really is. It was wrapped up like it was drugs or something. I got them all together. Don't know if you did or not too. So they had like 50 rolls of tape on there.
Yeah,
like a sawzall out to open it.
Yeah,
but of course you have to like the first thing you have to do is just find an area to splay out and make the picture. To make sure they didn't lie to you.
Yeah, people haven't seen it. Whenever you put together all the perfect editions of Monster, it makes like this big mural, and it's really, really cool. The covers go together, and it's sick. It's awesome.
What I thought about would be cool is if somebody made like a case or something, almost like a frame.
Yeah, you could probably do it yourself.
It probably wouldn't be very difficult, but that would be pretty sick to display them.
Yeah, but then if you ever want to read them, you gotta you
have to go get there and take them out and get them. You just have to buy another set, I guess.
Yeah. So other than that, man, I've just been reading Berserk and absolutely loving it. I need to continue Vinland, but I've been kind of caught up in a bit of a reading slump lately. But we'll get back to Vinland eventually. But I thought this volume of Berserk, which is the topic of discussion today for the show, really, really good. I thought it was one of the best volumes so far.
Yeah, for sure.
Confirmed some of my crackpot theory. Well, I shouldn't say confirm, but it's furthering my crackpot theories of certain correlations between characters. It's weird because a lot of this I think is spectacle, and it's really about the art in this one, where we get those amazing double panels of like full-fledged armies of the Holy See and the Kushan Empire, like breathtaking shit.
Yeah, really. I mean, I just sat there and looked at a couple of those for like minutes, just soaking it all in. Because what epic drawings those are. I mean, you're right. Like that one of just the sea of, and for me too, when they had the archers and it had the oh, what was his? I can't remember his name. The dude with the eye on his bow. I always forget his name. But when he was shoot like that, those panels, man.
Yeah. I don't recall his name at all. I get the apostle names mixed up, and I couldn't remember his. And I was kind of scrunched on time, so I was like, I'll ask the chat what the name is again. But yeah, I agree. Sick panel. You really feel the power levels between like. I mean, the just sheer mass of soldiers, and it just doesn't seem to matter when it comes to the apostles, right?
Yeah,
they're just so damn powerful.
It reminded me of like one of those old video games too, like where it's like, when they're running down the hill, you're just like, ah, man, I hate you, Griffith, but like, come on, this is so sick.
You can understand the mystique. It's Irvine.
Ah, that's it. Okay,
Irvine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Chat, I knew y'all would come through for us, so thank you.
For sure. Oh, but man, and you're like, oh, I forgot about that. Like you're just going through and seeing all the OP apostles like rolling up.
Yeah,
I'm a little ahead of myself, but
well, anytime Zod's on the screen is pretty wild, and the fact that we open up the volume and we see that Sonya is giving Zod a prophecy that he has a counterpart and must choose to battle the sword that once cut your flesh or to make it your own weapon. In some of these shots, so to give people an idea, and if I'm right or wrong, I don't want any confirmation in the comments or chat. We're first time readers, so we just want to see what happens. But do you remember a couple episodes back, or even a lot of episodes back, when we were talking, I said that I felt like Zod kind of mirrored Guts in ways, like they have the same ears, the hair's slightly the same, and I'm like, is there a different timeline where like Guts is Zod? Like, is there something there?
Yeah.
And that was like my tinfoil crazy theory, is that I felt like Guts was Zod somehow.
Yeah.
And we didn't get that confirmed here, but it certainly seems like they are at least parallels with each other. Like there's a juxtaposition between those two characters. And Sonya kind of leaves it a little bit more ambiguous than I would like. I'd like a little bit more confirmation before I run off as a success, but very interesting to see that. And I didn't expect to see the prophecy of to battle the sword or to make it your own weapon. I didn't expect to see that get confirmed in like the next panel, like at the very next chapter.
I thought for sure it was usually when they have those prophetic words like that, it's farther on down the road. You're like, oh, okay, I remember this. But so for me, did you think that they were going to take away the momentum of that battle, like right out the gate? Because I thought we were like going to go back in time more whenever, because the art changed. It was a lot more simplistic. Didn't have the background. We went from them fighting the thunder, beast. Oh my god,
the Emperor.
Okay.
The Emperor.
Yeah, man, I can't think of Emperor. And then straight to that, and I was like, okay, this is a little bit of change of pace. And then 3 pages later, okay, we're right back in the battle. Like for me, I thought they were going to go back, and then we were going to get more storyline, but they just punched you in the teeth right out the gate, which I was here for.
Yeah, it adds that little section adds a lot of context for what we're about to see, which is, buddy cop of Zod being ridden by Guts, which is just like hilarious imagery for some reason to me. And some of the lines, the banter back and forth is very quality between those two characters.
Yeah, it really was.
I also like the line where someone said, the black swordsman becomes the blackened swordsman. I thought that was a cool line.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm here for the Zod and Guts tag team.
Yeah, I love to see it. I mean, it gave me shades too, and we've talked about this before, of Skull Knight and Zod, and the parallels between Guts and Skull Knight and Zod and those relationships. So just to see that underlying, and then I think too, we'll get to it, I'm sure, later on, but that theme in this episode for me keeps going on and on. We have, I'll see you another day, I'll fight you another day. So that, I thought that was pretty neat that they like to do. We keep on with that same thought process, I guess.
Yeah, and also the fact that Zod obviously has confidence that Guts is going to make it through. Like, I will see you again, meaning that I have faith that we will once again clash, and we'll do it at full strength. And so he expects Guts to make it through until their next meeting, which is pretty great. Uvu Zod says, several episodes back, one of you joked that Guts might end up riding Zod. I've been waiting for this volume ever since to tell you about it. Yeah, he took the Zod Express.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, well, too, this has to, I mean, I don't even know, because everyone's saying like the most epic panels. Obviously, that one was one, the double spread. But really, we had like 5 double spread
Yeah, it's getting harder to show my appreciation for the art because every episode I come in and just talk about how epic it is, and I think that's what just makes this like a masterpiece. I was telling my friend Ben, who's one of my patrons, just a great guy, and he's reading Berserk kind of along. I think he actually picked up like where he left off to catch up with us. I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's a good dude, and he was saying, I was talking to him and saying, this is one of my favorite stories of all time, and he's like, yeah, like depending on where it ends up, it could be that for me as well. But like when I think of just stories I've experienced, Berserk has to be in the top 5 for me. And a lot of it has to do with the art, which is a little unfair to compare it to the other stories that I've read, right, in books, because they don't have that art counterpart, but it is a part of the story and part of the narrative. So yeah, it's almost hard to express how excellent I think the art is in these volumes. Like since I feel like since volume 22 or 20, it's just been gas.
Dude, they just like turn the burners full blown. I mean, we thought it was good. Even because I look back at some of the earlier ones and I'm like, this is still good, but like, holy shit, it gets better. Like, how do you keep getting better when you're already that good?
Yeah, I feel like I sink into the scene.
Yeah, even the Emperor, like I was looking at it, even like the Emperor's, like this wrinkles in his face, like the depth of his eyes and the sorrow in his eyes when, confronted like with Griffith in this, like so much of that is portrayed. And you got to think it's black and white or gray. It's shades of black and white. Like that for me just blows my mind. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to use that with color theory, but like to use that with, grays and black, like that's, man. That's insane.
I'm very envious of people who can achieve something on this level at all. Like even just getting like coherent art out, but then to take it to another level and like be a master of it is really impressive stuff. And I think sometimes, with manga, I get the sense that a lot of people are turned off by how on the nose some of the things can be, especially in Berserk. There are things that are super on the nose, right? Like for instance, in this volume, like Griffith basically explains that he's like, oh, I feel the sea, I can hear or I can feel the air from the sea or whatever, and it blows away the Emperor. Like to me, that's a little on the nose. Like maybe you could have left it a little bit more ambiguous or whatever, but the depth of it and the details are in the art. You know what I mean?
Well,
so the narrative can be very upfront, but the art is where you find the depth, at least in some of the scenes.
Now, in that one, see, for me, that part, I thought it was almost more of a mocking tone. Did you not? You thought it was more like a serious tone?
No, it is. But I'm saying it's relaying to the reader what's happening. Where
exactly.
Probably pieced it together, right? Yeah. And that might not be the best example. There's other examples in Berserk of things being on the nose. But I'm just saying that in those moments, in those story beats, wherever like it just straight up gives you exposition of what's happening, the art is that the counterpart to that, to where you can sit there on the page and look and get into the detail and set yourself in the scene. So I think that's just like one of those balances that with manga, it can be hit or miss, and Miura seems to hit it every damn time.
Really does. Even to how he draws Griffith now from what he looks like. I mean, he just looks different too. Like something is different about him from what he was before. It's more majestic, and it's not even more light around him. It's just angles of lines or something, whatever it is. He just looks like he is from another.
He's majestic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
He feels important. And I agree. Even when I see him, knowing that he's a bastard and I hate him, I still I enjoy seeing him on the page.
Yeah,
it always takes my breath away.
And I like how little dialogue he has now. I think it adds to the lore of him.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't get anything from his perspective, truly, right?
Which I think that also adds to it as well.
Yeah, Steve.
You don't. I mean, like you already know what he's doing. You know what his plan is, and you see it unfold, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, psychological distance is a tool that writers and artists can use to further a aura around a character. Steven Erikson does this with Animander Rake in the Malazan series. He's a very epic character, and he will never write a POV from Rake because he doesn't want people to know what he is thinking. He commands presence, and not getting that, makes their motivations a lot more mysterious. So it's definitely a tool they can use. Anthony says that double page panel of Guts and Zod flying together is one of my favorites. Framed artworthy. Rin says it gets even better. Brazilian Guts, welcome, says it's crazy to think it will get even better. So that is absolutely crazy,
man.
And Yui says, you guys should make a top 50 panels pages double spread
Ooh.
of Berserk manga video. That would be, I mean, it sounds super fun to sit down and look at all of them, but I won't lie to you. That sounds so daunting to rank them.
Right? I think we would just have to like just do them as they come, like in chronological order, because I don't know how you would rank them.
Yeah, it would definitely be difficult.
Yeah, that would be fun though.
What's up, Chadia? Good to see you. And we have been asked multiple times to cover 33 and 34 volumes together.
Yeah.
And people are saying it's like the peak, this is the peak. So I think we will cover 33 and 34 together. It'll just take me a little bit more time to read it. But yeah, I think we will be doing 33 and 34 together. So
yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah. So let's see. We get Zod. He spares Guts, which I think is really interesting because I doubt Griffith would want him to ever do that. And the other apostle even kind of mentions like, hey, that's it's not a good idea. This is kind of like we got him where we want him type.
Yeah, let's eat him. Like, just kill him.
Yeah, I got a taste for hunger. And then Zod just like fucking snatches.
I know.
So Zod is like a level above the other apostles, it seems. And there is a feeling that he's a little bit more independent than the other apostles. Like clearly the Emperor's outside of Griffith's command and he's trying to do his own thing. But when it comes to people actually with Griffith in the Band of the Hawk, it's interesting that Zod seems way more independent, which adds a lot to his mystery. But also the fact that Sonya was giving him a prophecy. Like, did Sonya know that was going to motivate him to team up with Guts?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Was that actually something that she saw, or was it that planted? That's for me. I thought that as well.
Well, is there any like choice in her brain of like, is it just a prophecy and she just like, bleh, you know what I mean? Like she's a voice box for the prophecy, or is she knowing like she gets prophecy, she thinks about it? You know what I'm saying?
Well, we thought too. I mean, because she was talking to Shurka, and they had a pretty good relationship, and we kind of thought, or at least I did, is about Sonya might be playing both sides there a little bit. So
she could be good, right? And just be under the guise that Griffith is a savior, because after this volume, everybody thinks he's a savior, right?
Oh my God, man. Just kept on coming. Holy shit. I don't want to get ahead of it, but
bro, how awesome. I don't know why. I like love this moment when Serpico steps up.
Ooh, I didn't see that coming at all.
It's like, we're good, Guts, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you're maybe a little belligerent, trying to start a fight, and then your friends are like, we're gonna go home, right? You're good, right? Really
sounds a little familiar.
Oh, Ryan says, hey guys, did you know there is a Finnish metal band called Beast in Black that dedicated an album for Berserk? I did not, but I will check it out. Finnish metal is awesome.
Yes, any metal like that, but Finnish especially. I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah,
I've been listening to Cannibal Corpse a lot lately. I've just dusted off the new Ozzy album came out, and it just kind of like sparked the nostalgia of metal for me. So I've just been really just getting just the deepest. I actually looked for what did I look the other day? It was like scariest, darkest metal song. So that's what I've been listening to on the rig.
Nice. I'm on drill music pretty hard right now.
Understandable.
Yeah, understandable. I thought. But yeah, Serpico steps up, and then Isidro's in the back talking shit, which I thought was absolutely hysterical. Hey, what up, Zod? What up, bro? I loved it. I thought it was
I did too.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
Isidro also tries to drop kick in this volume, and then ends up racking his nuts on a post or whatever. And I thought that was
so funny.
Yeah, I love Isidro.
I mean, anymore. I'm back on the Isidro.
Back on the EC bro train. The Isidro drop kick.
Calling the shots.
Best finishing move in all Midland, no doubt. No doubt. So what about the panel of Guts seeing Griffith on his horse? The blink.
Dude. Man.
I mean, just think about where we were at the beginning of this arc.
Yeah.
Guts would have never turned down the opportunity to go one-on-one with Griffith, and now he is.
Yeah. That's wild, dude. I mean, how far we have come. And he also didn't fight Zod. Plus, he didn't let the armor overtake him because, I mean, we're getting a lot of growth here with our boy. There was also another thing, too. Did you catch the one panel? I'm trying to think. I think it was right when the battle was happening. Oh, crap. I just completely lost where it was.
It'll come.
It'll come back. It'll come back. We'll come back to it. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm like brain fog today.
It's all good. Yeah, so we ended up seeing Griffith on the horse, right, with Guts. And the fact that Guts is number one priority now is truly to get to Elfhelm and to try to heal Casca is evident, right? And to me, that shows all the growth that we've ever needed out of Guts. And also makes me a little bit more sure that I'm going to like where this ends up, I think.
Yeah.
Because the handling of Casca's arc is the most important thing in the story for me. And me and my friend Ben talked about that. You know, it's going to depend how I feel about the story overall will depend where Casca ends up, I feel.
That's it. Okay, I got it back now. Sorry, got off the old train. The old ADD kicking in. So when they were fighting and Casca like laughs, did you catch that?
Yes.
What do you make of that? I mean, like I was trying to see where it falls into, like what she thought was so funny. Is it like, oh, haha, you can't beat Zod, or oh, haha, you're not going to fight him anymore, or you're not going to go after Griffith? Like so many implications are there.
Is it a laugh though?
It said haha. I thought, unless you, I mean, it had a bunch of A's. I thought.
I'm gonna pull it up because I didn't remember it being a laugh, but I can.
Hold on, let me see. I think I brought the book in here. Yeah, I have these like stacked everywhere, like the Bible for me, just everywhere.
Just
I put up. Yeah, I have one in like my guest room nightstand for people. Instead of the Bible, they just get Berserk.
That's so ridiculous. I love it though.
Let's see. There's a little bit of battle.
I'm trying to find it online because I don't remember her laughing. I would love chat if you can help us out with that. I would love to remember, but I remember her making an expression where she almost like expected things to go down, and then he doesn't do what she expects. Is how I kind of took it.
Now another thing I love too in this volume is the like chapter, like the chapter art. I thought that was super cool. How they started doing a really dark. Those dark arts.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, there's chapter breaks in the deluxe volumes, and they're like dark pages, and those had not been in the books until
like that
this point. And yeah, they're really, really cool.
Super. Oh, jeez. Oh man, I want to find that now.
Hawk of Light says, remember how you said you don't, how you didn't want to see Shirkei doing the magic? I think you're starting to see where it's going with Farnese development. Yeah, it's not that I don't like Shirkei doing magic. It's the everyone tank for Shirkei while she powers up. It's like DBZ, like the power ups get a little old at some point.
See what I'm saying right there?
Is that haha?
I think it's haha, isn't it?
I disagree. It does not look like she's laughing to me. That is.
I know, but it says ha ha.
Well, could it be a ha ha? You know, like
I feel like that would be a U.
Maybe. Chat. What do you think?
What are you thinking here? Is she find something funny? Is EC Bro tickling her? Like, what's going on here?
I feel like people are going to think we're making a lot out of nothing. I think that's
I think you're right. Probably. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good.
My bad. Off the rails. Sorry.
No, you're good, dude. But Casca does have two moments here, right? She has this, and then whenever they're on the boat at the end, and she's kind of like alive a little bit, right? Like it feels like she's having a little bit more reactions. Also, there's like a distance between her and Farnese because Farnese's over here learning how to do magic, right? And Casca's a little bit like by herself, and there's this scene of like her on the one side of the boat and Guts looking down at her, and it looks like she might even fall over at one point, and that's kind of where the volume actually ends. So I'll be curious to see where that goes. I like this take on it. Hawk of Light says, I think she is hurting from the brand.
Oh.
Manish says, no, she's not laughing. Told you.
All right. Well, now I feel bad.
John says she tries to catch her breath, in my humble opinion.
All right.
You're going to love what Miura does with Casca and Fantasia. Good. I'm glad.
Me too.
I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah. Like we're on the boat finally.
Well, yeah, we're on the way finally. Yeah. We've been on the way, but it's getting so much closer.
Yes, which is good to see. So yeah, we see Griffith on the horse. Guts kind of fades to black, and then we get to settle into the amazing battle. I mean, holy shit. The fact that they also hinted that the bigger one is coming and that it'll happen at the Demon City of the Emperor is like something to look forward to. And I do wonder if we're going to start seeing more B plot where like we separate between Guts's journey on the boat and start getting like proper like Griffith, Holy See, Midland stuff each volume. I wonder how that's going to get split up and how that pacing is going to be. because now like Zod's a little more flushed out, right?
Yeah.
We do have Sonya, who is in the Band of the Hawk, so I don't expect things to be directly from Griffith's POV, but it's going to be cool to see the plot split and probably get more of both. So
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that as well.
yeah,
I was kind of surprised at how I thought there was going to be more of a battle with the Emperor, but I think he just knew that he was done, and that overwhelming presence that Griffith has, it's just showing how powerful he really is now. That he can take,
yeah,
and just back him down, and he literally cowered at his feet, pretty much. And
yeah. And I
it's like,
think
I'll fight you.
Griffith is also suspending the idea that the bigger battle is to come, because there's
Mhm.
still some rockiness when it comes to who's in charge, who he is. Is he the army proper? And then we have the Charlotte reveal. So like, I feel like there's still more political maneuvering because he wants to set this up in a way where he is the savior
Mhm.
and he gets his kingdom, which has been the whole motivation for him the whole time, right?
Yeah, he hasn't not faltered from that at all.
Yeah, and that's what makes this volume so awesome, is that it is a culmination. Like, we've been waiting to see Griffith. We knew he was going to manipulate these people and get what he wanted, and he had to do it in the right steps. And we see like the first really major moment of all of Midland kind of taking the knee for him. And he is the obvious savior, right? And it all kind of comes together. We get the Princess Charlotte stuff that we saw many volumes ago. We even have the Pontiff falling on his face in front of Griffith and saying,
I forgot about the Pontiff, honestly. I forgot that he had him. Like, a lot of stuff, like all his pieces are falling into place. All the work he's done.
That's right.
You're like, oh, wow. Okay, it's coming to fruition now. It's
Griffith's
time to shine.
Infuriating to see.
Yes,
right?
it
It's
really
like, God
is.
damn it. You all
You're
are
like,
going to get taken.
We knew it was going to happen, but like,
well, he's reached deity status now. So,
well, even Farnese dad like kind of tries to back him down some.
Yeah.
When they were there, and they're like, nah, he's the Hawk of Light. You need to pipe down, dude.
Yeah, the Pontiff is what puts it over the edge.
Yeah, it really did. And everyone's like, I mean, they can argue with that, but I think that's still another one of, the jabs at the how religion makes such a big impact on, and we haven't seen that in the story for a little while.
Yeah, linking military action to a religion and to like a holy person, or saying that this is ordained by God, is a very powerful tool when it comes to achieving your goals or fascism or any of it. So
yeah, dude, we got Zod back too. We didn't talk about that. The knight is back. He's on the boat.
Yes.
Dude, when I saw him, they were like sitting on him going across the boat. I was like, yes. I love that, dude.
I knew you were going to love it when I saw it, and he's with Isidro training and shit.
Yes. That was awesome. And he's like, you can tell your master is not that tough.
It's terrific.
High caliber. Like, dude, I love it. It's so funny.
Yeah, there was a lot of good balance here. We get the epic panels, we get the personal character development, and we got a lot of humor. So, like, I don't know, man. It's just such a solid volume.
It really was. It wasn't like too much either. Like, it was, God, I mean, I say it every single time, but like balance. It's perfect. Like, it really, really is. I just love it.
Hawk of Light says this volume sums up Griffith's character, where everything just seems to fall in place for things to go his way. Yeah, and it's been like a slow burn to get to this point, and we could watch it all falling in place, right? But tough.
It's funny. Ryan says.
Yeah, Ryan says, what could go wrong when a figure that drawn like the Antichrist, yet he had Pontiff Pope on his hand? Yeah.
Right? We're gonna be good here.
If you think about it, Griffith is a genius. Yes. And then like you have to balance the fact that, using your gifts for certain things, like morality is not connected to being a genius, right? So you could be immoral and be a genius. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
It really is.
What did you make of Farnese leaving her body and everything?
I mean, I didn't think so. For me, I was shocked and impressed that she's doing that already. Because I mean, we didn't really see her. We saw her, working with the apple and then doing a little bit of practice with her magic. But I was happy to see it. Honestly, I thought that she's a lot farther along in her training with magic than I thought. So I like to see that. And I was a little leery. I thought something bad was going to happen, but
aren't we always?
It's just because you can't have nothing's free in Berserk world. But I was happy to see it. What about you?
Yeah, I like it. Also, it kind of makes me wonder, like, having two magic users within the party gives me the feeling that maybe one might not be around the whole
Oh,
time, or they may be split up at some point. Like I see the band splitting at some point. But it was really cool to see not just her leave her body and see that, like, all stemming from the Apple moment to this, but also to see Shirke and Farney then relate about how their views of the world have changed.
mhm.
And I mean, clearly we've talked in depth about how Farney's worldview has completely been dismantled and reassembled in a different way. But Shirke thinking about how dangerous everything was, and all these people are savages and they're terrible, but this band of strugglers has really changed the way that they see the world. And I think everyone can kind of relate. The world can be a very pessimistic place, and like there's days where I don't have like the greatest worldview, but when you're with your people
Mhm.
and the people that mean the most to you, or that you can connect with on a deeper level, it does give you a bit of hope in a different perspective on the world. So I think everyone that reads that can relate to Farnese and Shirke for sure.
Yeah. Well, and two, when we get the payoff of her finally verbalizing what we've seen through the art as we go on, how she thought she was worthless, and yeah, it's a good payoff too. We get a lot of payoffs in this episode,
Yeah.
which I super liked, because we've been building for a while, and I think we're continuing to build, as we've been told to, for something epic coming in the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to read volumes 33 and 34 and reading them together, because people have been hyping these up for a long time.
Yeah, they really have. Well, and we've been hyping up. I was happy to see that, like, just getting slapped out the gate with some awesome panels, because everyone's talking about, like, you gotta wait for the panels of this one, and then we see, oh god, so many. Like, I was expecting one, and we got so many. It was awesome.
I do wonder, like, going back to this, I think the moments that are going to stand out, because a lot of this was solidifying things that we were waiting for it to happen, right? Like
Mhm.
Farnese's a little bit of a magic power up, but also finally being on the way to Elfhelm, like proper.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we see Griffith take what he's been after for a very long time, or at least take the next step towards that. So I think the building block that was laid here, for me, that's the most interesting, is one, the character development of Guts choosing not to fight, Casca being there to witness that, and also Zod being a counterpart to Guts being confirmed, is like those are the things that I think will now kind of leash themselves to other plot points out in the future. So
Yeah. No, that's 100% correct.
nice. Manish says, or Manish, I'm sorry, really excited for the climax. Also, the arc is literally named after Griffith. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Berserk was about seeking hope in the world of unfairness, full of unfairness. Yeah, absolutely. And finding your tribe.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard people refer to it as, and I couldn't agree more. But yeah, this episode's good. I'm starting to call it episode like you do now.
Next week, I've been watching too much Dragon Ball. That's what it is. That's another thing I've been into, is with Dragon Ball GT. But, like, oh man, we haven't had one like this for a while. We really haven't.
Yeah, well,
And
it's kind of signifying, if I'm not mistaken, we're coming to the end of this arc. Next is the Fantasia arc. Someone can confirm in chat. Fantasia arc begins after volume 34. Is that correct? I believe that is the case. So we haven't finished an arc in a while. This
know.
feels like the longest one. So
Well, I think too, we were reading like the whole deluxe editions there for a while, so we were rifling through stuff a lot quicker.
that's true. That's true. Our
And then
pace slowed down.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I thought this was a great volume. It feels like the launching point. We're about to get into even crazier stuff. I'm excited to see where the battles go. And
now, do you think that we're going to see a split within the Kushin as well?
yes, I think that's been hinted at quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't know, because after that battle, if we still think that, because at the beginning, obviously, we were like, "Yo, young master, what are we going to do here?" And I mean, clearly he's in charge of the army. The Emperor just kind of out doing his own thing, out for vengeance, out for blood against Griffith, and not really seeing things clearly.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like the age old of, oh, we have the numbers, and like that never worked. I mean, very rarely does that work out.
No, never.
I mean, look at the old 300, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a suicidal band of. It's like, nah, you have no idea, dude. They're about to
Yeah.
get cut through.
Yeah, really, just ran through them. I did like to see Zod dual wielding too.
Seeing Sillet was also pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, you forget about all these. Now, did you see some of the almost look like from the tower. Does Griffith have some of the torturers from the tower with him as well, or was it just like some of his henchmen?
I'm not sure. I didn't actually catch that. Possibly.
Okay.
Thanks, Mama Nuts. I appreciate it. But I think that is about all of the content that was in Volume 32. I'm excited to be off to Elfhelm. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I want to see it. I need to see it.
I know, man. What is it? And then, I mean, obviously, don't tell us, but I don't know. I'm just hoping it's what we want it to be, which I don't even know what that is, but I think that it will be.
I think things have probably gone very bad at Elfhelm, and when we return there, like it's just going to be dilapidated and it's going to be awful. But that's
maybe it'll be split. You know how like Aruba is like split? It has like desert on one side. Yeah. And so maybe we got like a nice side, and everyone's like, oh, okay, it's nice. And then the next side is everyone's just slaughtered, and it's just pure decimation. But then everyone gets what they want.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's going to be some new conflict within Elfhelm that will have to be resolved by the band. You know, maybe a little side mission or even a core mission that relates more to Puck. We'll see.
Or maybe there's just like an army of Skull Knights just ready to roll because Guest doesn't have his army yet, man.
Yeah, it'll be curious to see.
Band of Destructors doesn't have their army yet.
It'll be curious to see what happens whenever they get there, and like, where is Skull Knight? Are we going to see him there? I don't know.
We haven't seen him. Yeah, we haven't seen him in a hot minute.
Remember, he feels like an elf. I'll never forget that.
I know.
Puck's like, that guy has the aura of an elf. It's like, why?
But like, that's just what's so beautiful about this is like the subtleties of something like that that you easily could miss. And I mean, I'm sure we've said it time and time again that I'm sure we've missed small subtleties like that. And I mean, honestly, I'm stoked to get a reread on it because even going back through before our chats, you see so many things you miss.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. What was your favorite moment from the volume?
Honestly, I really loved the progression that Farnese has had. And to finally hear her talk about, you know, how her journey was, how her perspective changed. That for me was just so powerful and awesome. And then obviously I loved the Zod Express, but who doesn't? How about you?
Yeah, mine was probably the Zod Express, but Humble mentioned to Pontiff falling on his face in front of Griffith. That panel is epic.
Yeah,
and
it really
was. It's solidifying that this moment is true and it's happening, and there is no hope that he's not going to be dethroned at this point. So like, it's like an ascension of a different kind, not just of the God, you know, being God hand leader, but more
quite
than
literally the last. I literally, when I read that, I go, well, that's a wrap.
Yeah. It's
there was still some, you know, there was still some confusion there. That like, oh, maybe it's not, maybe it is. And
well, there's resistance too. So, and now it just doesn't feel like there's any hope for Midland. You know, seeing Griffith for what he really is. So for me, that moment was pretty epic, and I just, you know, kind of catch your breath type of moment when you see that panel.
Yeah, and we got two of them right in a row. Because honestly, I forgot, and I didn't think he was going to play the Charlotte card. I forgot how powerful of a card that was.
Yeah, Charlotte looks healthy. She looks good.
Yeah.
Happy for her. Oh, man.
Well, you know.
Well, we want to thank you all for checking in to Dudes Talking Manga for Volume 32 of Berserk. We will be back in about 2 weeks, I believe, and we'll be doing 33 and 34 all at once. So, you know, come do your homework. We'll be back. And that will probably be a little bit of a longer episode, I assume, because it's also a climax. So it's gonna be wild. It's going to be pretty wild. I'm excited to finish out this arc. Yeah, it's going to be dope. I got to make sure to not peek ahead. You know, I tried not.
I didn't this time either. I almost did.
I did this time. I did.
Did you?
I peeked ahead because I wanted to see if like what was going on with Casca at the rail. Like I was like, is she gonna fall over? Are they gonna lose Casca in the sea or some stupid shit? So I just wanted to peek ahead a little bit, and it didn't seem like that happened. So we'll see. I think
the last two I have
pages. But
yeah, the last two I have, and I forget which one I had to. I read like 10 pages, and I was like, I gotta see what's going on, but I haven't. I've been trying to. I hate when you like. Have you grabbed the book and then like opened? And, like, and you're like, ah, shit! Like that's. I did that on like one of the first ones, and it was like a huge moment. I can't remember what it was. I'm like, oh man, I was like, it's just a bummer.
Yeah, you can't look ahead to see where the chapter ends. You just have to kind of ride it out and experience it in the moment, or you're going to ruin stuff for yourself. You know,
yeah,
it's not
like
a book.
Yeah, I was going to say if you do it with a book, it's fine. A couple words isn't going to make a difference, but if you see one panel, it could. That's true.
Well, man, always appreciate you coming in, and this was awesome. Everyone, if you don't mind, hit like, and if you have not subscribed, we'd love to have you along with our first read through of Berserk, and we'll be reading other mangas as well. But we will be back next time with volumes 33 and 34. Andrew, thanks. Chat, thanks. We appreciate you. And until we see you next time, be good, be safe. Remember to always
keep turning the page.